Welcome to our tutorial on how to connect AdMaster Cloud with mAirList, the powerful radio automation software. Our objective is to set up a schedule with 2 commercial breaks per hour. You can later customize this schedule according to your station's programming. Before we begin the integration process, it's highly recommended that you have some active campaigns scheduled in your AdMaster account. To properly test the connection, we suggest creating around 20 campaigns, each with about 15 scheduled plays per day. This ensures that every commercial block has at least a few spots scheduled for playback. We do not recommend testing the integration with an empty schedule, as it can make troubleshooting difficult. In AdMaster, let's begin by heading to the Stations menu in the sidebar and navigating to General Station Settings. Here, the most important step is to set up the playout integration. In the Playout Integration section, click Edit and from the drop-down menu select mAirList h.tpi files. Also, ensure your station's time zone is set correctly to your local time. Next, you need to enable broadcast log reconciliation. Check the box to turn it on, then click Settings. In the dialog that appears, set the search term to Filename and click Set. Now let's move on to the commercial break settings. By default, AdMaster sets up 2 commercial breaks per hour for the entire week. Note that these settings cannot force mAirList to start playing the commercials on the selected minute in the hour. But make sure you configure the starting minutes of the break correctly to help AdMaster's reconciliation engine know approximately where to find the commercials in mAirList's log files. Now let's configure the playout PC to download the spots and traffic logs from the server. On your playout PC, download and install the AdMaster desktop client application from the Broadcast Computers section in your AdMaster account. Once installed, you'll need to configure 3 folder paths. First, the Spots folder is where AdMaster stores the commercial audio files downloaded from the cloud. In this example, we're using the Ads folder on the C drive. Next, the AdMaster Traffic Log folder is where AdMaster saves the hourly log files that mAirList will import. We are using this Traffic Logs folder on the C drive. Finally, the Playout Software Broadcast Log folder points to mAirList's logging directory so AdMaster can perform reconciliation. No need to create the separate log for this. The default mAirList log will do just fine. The default path is typically in the mAirList subfolder in the Program Data folder. Note that this folder is hidden in Windows by default, so you'll need to turn on displaying the hidden files in the File Explorer. Once you've made these selections, the download of spots and traffic log files will begin immediately. Now that the AdMaster side is configured, let's move on to mAirList. Open the mAirList database application. From the Administration menu, select Advertising Settings. First, set the number of available blocks to 2. This will create Block 1 and Block 2 in the list on the left. Select Block 1. In the General tab, make sure the source is set to Import Source 1, then click the Configure button. This opens the Configure Playlist Import window. In this window, you need to set the following options precisely. Set the import source to File. For the file format, choose TPI Text Playlist Import File. The file style should be set to 1 file per hour. The source folder should be the AdMaster Traffic Logs folder you set in the AdMaster Desktop Client app. This setting is critical, so make sure you selected the right folder. For the file name format, enter the string that you see on the screen. Pause the video playback, or check the description below the video to copy-paste the code. The split block by setting should be on automatic. This is the key setting that allows mAirList to read the single hourly file and automatically separate the ads into Block 1 and Block 2. Lastly, set the default item type to Advertising. Click OK to close the configuration window. You do not need to repeat this for the second block. Simply select Block 2 and verify that its source is also set to Import Source 1. Finally, go to the Container tab for each block, check Always Create a Container, and set the artist and type to Advertising. This will group the commercials neatly in the playlist. Once you have configured everything, click OK to save the changes. The next step is to tell mAirList when to schedule these blocks. We do this using our templates. From the administration menu, go to Manage Templates. We are using a default clock for all hours of the week. You're probably using more of them, and you'll need to open each and every one of them and add the commercial breaks to the positions where you want them to be played. Inside the hour template, you place items that will make up your hour's programming. In our template, it's currently only music and station IDs. To insert a commercial break, you add an advertising item from the list on the left. When you add the advertising item, you must assign it to one of the blocks we defined earlier. For the first break, we'll select block 1 from the drop-down menu. We will then add a second advertising item and assign it to block 2 to create our second break. Make sure that the container creation is turned off in these settings. Once the hour template is saved, we need to generate the playlist. Do this as usual. When it's done, open the Playlist tab and check if the commercial breaks are added to your playlist. At the position of Block 1 and Block 2, mAirList automatically finds the corresponding traffic log file exported by AdMaster and inserts the scheduled spots. As you can see, the block is now filled with the commercials, complete with their intro and outro jingles. Congratulations! You've successfully integrated AdMaster Cloud with mAirList. For more insightful tutorials, tips, and updates, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website for more information. For any assistance that you may need, feel free to contact our support team. Happy broadcasting!